My first video was originally going to be on ancient Sumerian creation mythology, but thanks to my late night gaming content binges, I was shown something a little more recent and trendy that I'd like to talk about. My name is Sarah, and welcome to Carfunkle, my mythology channel hosted by me, a funky carbuncle. While on one of my late night gaming video binges while I worked on scripts, I came across a new game by the developer Chilla Games, a Japanese game dev duo who make urban legend style horror series, the stuff kids today would probably call creepypastas, or something like that. I don't know, I'm 30. If I was hip and with it, I'd be posting on TikTok, not YouTube. Anyway, Chilla Games have been getting a lot of attention lately because, well, while they're not technically amazing, they're actually kind of bad, but more like bad in the way that it's not visually amazing.
How are you? You're the only other human I've ever seen here. Oh, I don't like your face!
But this funk, for lack of a better word, is great at setting uncanny valley vibes, which elevates the paranoia and discomfort one feels while playing. So, they're probably bad by design? Visually speaking, I mean. Anyway, the games are actually more about the stories they tell. In their latest entry, Parasocial, you play a woman who works as an independent Vtuber. If you're the sort who cares more about books and mythology than games, a Vtuber is a virtual YouTuber. You're looking at a Vtuber right now. Sorry for the immersion break. We're humans who use 2D or 3D models that use motion capture to take our motions and project them onto a model. Vtubers are most common in gaming, but as you can see, you're watching a talking fox thing tell you about mythology, so we can really be in anything. The lead in this game plays a VTuber streamer, and the story of the game is a viewer who sends her a game that was made for just her, a fan game, that hacks her camera and reveals her face to her 5,000 subs. Seems like not that big of a deal, right? But her camera was hacked while still live, which is a massive invasion of privacy. As this continues, it spirals into her being followed by a stalker who is obsessed with her. But the thing that caught my attention is actually the game she is playing before the fan game. Another game made by Chilla Games called Manto. Well, sort of. It's not the same Manto, but I heard the name and I was like, wait, why does that sound familiar? I've heard this name before. Well, it's because Manto is a mythological being. Well, more specifically, a being from urban legends, which to me is just modern mythology. You might have heard of Manto before. If I were to ask you if you wanted blue paper or red paper, then that might spark up that light bulb in your head. But for those who haven't heard of the Manto is the ghost of a man who haunts toilets in the women's bathroom. Let's get into this story before I spoil too much. But before we continue, since this is an urban legend, there is no standardized version of this story. It can change by region, by school, by the individual telling it, and the story first started in the 1930s, so it's had a lot of time to change. So if you heard this before and you're thinking about correcting me, consider shutting up. Actually, don't shut up. Just comment an emoji instead for the algorithm. I like the gem one, so you can do that. Warning for this story, as it involves a bit of violent unaliving or two, or three. In a school in Japan, there is said to be a ghost, a yokai, a serial killer. No one knows what it is for sure, but the stories all agree his name is Manto, the Red Cloak. A tall being in a red cloak who haunts the girls' bathroom. Everyone at the school already knows about Manto and his penchant for hunting the old bathroom in the gym. So everyone avoids the bathroom at all costs. They'd rather take a dumpski in the bushes than go to the haunted bathroom. But one day a girl needed to go. Badly. Like code red, but worse. You could say code brown. Either because the usual bathrooms were all full, or because the old bathroom was closer and she had to drop the kids off at the pool, and they weren't picky about which one. The young girl ran for the bathroom and chose the 4th stall. This matters because, in Japan, 4 is an unlucky number, like how Americans feel about the number 13. She picked this one instead of the first 3 stalls because it was the cleanest looking. She hopped in, popped a squat, and got some paperwork done. Or at least tried to, because when she reached for the bog roll, it was all out. Suddenly a voice crept in.
Red paper or blue paper?
Shocked at hearing a male voice in the decrepit bathroom, she asked, "What?" The voice again asked,
Do you want red paper or blue paper?
Relieved at, getting some relief, she said, "Red paper." Quickly, a tall figure with a white mask cloaked in a red cloak burst in, slamming open the door, and begins wildly, What's the YouTube-friendly way of saying this? Akamanto viciously tapped her with the pointy end of a knife until her clothes were entirely stained red with with the beet juice she was holding. Fast forward a few months later, another girl found herself in the same situation. She had to take a toozy and had nothing to losey. She knew about the unsolved logging off, but she couldn't keep it in. She too went into the same stall, took a similar business trip, and reached for the paper, and once again the voice crept in.
Red paper or blue?
Remembering what happened to the other girl, she said, blue paper. My question is, though, if the girl was unalived and there were no witnesses and the ghost got away, who told the story of what color the girl chose? Just something to think about, some minor nitpicking. Anyway, she said she wanted some blueski to help with her twoski. The police ended up finding her with her face being turned blue from being suffocated. Now, like comedy, horror works well in threes. So of course, another kid decided to let a deuce loose in the fourth toilet. When asked about their choice of stationery, they said, yellow paper, which wasn't one of the options Akamanto presented any of the other victims. The girl must have felt pretty clever. She told Akamanto a color that he didn't even give.
Yellow! I'll take yellow, Charmin!
Yellow?
Yeah, yellow! Yellow Charmin!
Oh god, you're so stupid. Do I have to tell you kids everything? You make it worse when you ask for another color.
But immediately after, Akamanto literally dragged her down to hell. Honestly, out of all the yellow that you can find in a bathroom, hell is probably the preferable option. Anyway, Akamanto still haunts the fourth stall and the haunted toilet today, and teachers refuse to let any students use this bathroom now out of fear of having to find another body. Although, if the third one was dragged to hell, how do they even know Akamanto was responsible for the disappearance of the third one? It's not like there was evidence left, as she was skibbidied straight to hell. That's the story of the Akamanto. Still not the weirdest encounter I've had in a bathroom, but one worth telling all the same. Akamanto's story doesn't really end or start here though, as Akamanto, as you can see, is still referenced today through games and media. But Akamanto's origin story might not even be the urban myth I told you just now. Akamanto's story is very similar to Kayanade. Like Red Guy Imposter Sus, Kayanade hides in the bathroom, but specifically inside the toilet itself, where they lie in wait for you to squat, upon which they reach up and slap your cheeks around. And I'm not talking about the ones on your face. The only way to stop this serial cheek checker is to ask white or red toilet paper. And rather than answering, he'll just bail. He'll evacuate, so to speak. I guess it wasn't scary enough and they had to modernize it a bit. But there's another origin to Baka Aka as well. There's the story of the Aogedo murder, aka the Blue Blanket murder. In 1906, Fukui, Japan, a man murdered 3 family members while draped in a blue blanket like a cloak. Don't worry, I won't turn this into a true crime video, but it goes to show that the most effective horror and urban legends are the ones based on a kernel of reality. Thank you everyone for watching. If you found this video interesting, please leave a like, sub, and consider sharing with your friends. Halloween is coming up, so this might make for a good video to add to your spooky tour. Also, leave a comment. If you don't know what to type, but still want to help with the algorithm, just comment a gem or answer me this: red circle emoji or blue circle emoji. And I'll see you all next time. Stay funky.